DTB Anime Reviews here, and welcome back to part 2 of our Neon Genesis book club. I hope y'all all enjoyed episode 2, and so without further ado, let's get into it. I believe where we left off last week, Shinji was just about to fight an angel. So we jump right back into it, and I really wasn't sure what to expect. Now, we kind of get to see Shinji doesn't really know what he's doing at all, and this just goes because his father practically threw him into this situation, and I just think it's hilarious because at what point is this dude supposed to know how to, operate this piece of machinery, or what we think is a piece of machinery? Later on, things are about to get crazy. So this fight for the first half pretty much goes exactly how we expect it to go. The angel knows what it's here to do, and the angel knows how to fight. It knows its body, but Shinji does not know how to pilot this thing whatsoever, and he pretty much gets his butt kicked. There's a lot of things that are going to kind of foreshadow that we're going to see later on. And one of those things was Shinji taking damage. Now, we see that once this angel grabs Shinji's robot's arm, we see that automatically he goes into pain. And it's almost like his arm is being pulled. And that's a pretty important thing to look into. And this poor dude, still wondering why he's doing this. Makes no sense. Like, what was it, 10 hours ago he was just a regular dude, and now he's fighting an angel. And it's beyond me how he's never seen or heard of this before. But he's thrown into this, and he's just in a terrible place. We already tell that he's kind of a shy kid. He doesn't like to talk very much. He's always got his headset in, and there's not much to him other than, being a quiet person. But moving on from that, we pretty much follow up with, I would assume, is almost a blackout. Not necessarily. I assume he's just in a lot of pain. This kid feels like he's getting his arm ripped off. So, for any normal kid, he's probably in complete shock of getting his butt kicked by this angel. And following up, we think the fight's going to continue, but no, Shinji wakes up in a hospital. And what I really like is that throughout this anime, you're going to see this scene quite a lot for different characters. And it's one of the most memorable parts of the anime for some reason, but I think anybody who's watched it would feel the same. And so we kind of follow up, and we don't know what happened. Shinji just wakes up in the hospital, and we kind of see that the Eva has been beat up into pieces. And we finally move on to a big group. Now, we don't really know who these people are, but we see Akari sitting over there, and he's basically getting scolded. Now, it seems like they're not his bosses, but they all kind of expect big things from him. I assume that they're all big-time CEOs. So following up after that little meeting, we're basically getting the cleanup. And what we know from this so far is that Shinji is alive. It looks like the Eva got beat up. So we assume that this robot is broken. But later on, for the people that have seen it, we know what's coming. But for the people that haven't, I would really like you to keep an eye on what the Evas really are. Now, we know they're robots, but they seem to have some other qualities to them. And once again, we kind of see Akari over here, and he seems to be talking to somebody who's his boss, his superior, somewhere in that realm, because he's kind of giving orders here. But moving on, we're kind of in a weird spot for the episode as we want to know what happened, but we're getting the filler for afterwards. And Shinji doesn't seem to be doing much. He's exploring the hospital, and we get a quick glimpse of Rei. Now, I don't know if they said her name yet. I kind of forgot, or I'm pretty sure they did. So for anybody that I may have spoiled that to, I apologize, but we would have seen it in the future. So pretty much next up, we're going to get some of Shinji's living situations taken care of. Now, remember, he had just gotten here, so he hasn't done anything except get picked up by Masato, taken to NERV. He piloted the Eva and ended up in the hospital. So where is he going to live? He obviously doesn't live here. He came back to see his father. They never told us from where. And we can kind of see that this relationship is horrible. Shinji's dad is a complete... I can't say it, but you know what I mean. He's not the best dad. He's really just here for work. And so when they tell Misato that he's going to be living alone, Misato offers him to come live with him and just kind of be more of a parental figure, as she kind of knows that Shinji's dad is not really there for him. And Shinji's personality type kind of screams that he needs some help, some motivation, and something to kind of push him. And that's kind of what I take from this, as basically it seems like just something small, but I think Misato's trying her best to push onto his character that he can be the best that he can be, as there's no one else to really give that for him. And so when we get to Misato's place, Shinji's kind of surprised because she's filthy. And like any hardworking person, she likes to enjoy her beer after work. Now, we kind of get some silly back and forths. We get to see Pin, her penguin pet. And then we move on and we see this other Ava. And I believe this is the first time we get to see that Ava, but it's Rei Ayanami's Ava. Spoiler, I apologize. It's coming up. But now we're getting back into what happened that day. And we kind of see that everything had went berserk. There was emergency signals going off. Shinji was getting beat to a pulp. And right here, I want you to see that this field that protects them is going to be really big later on. It seems like nothing, but it's going to be huge. But basically, we see that Shinji's robot is absolutely demolishing this angel. I mean, he just pummels it, but then it goes on him, self-destructs, and pretty much just blows this Ava to pieces. And this is kind of where we leave off. Now, one important thing that I'm very excited for y'all to look at for the newcomers is whenever Shinji looks over and he sees that face is blown off, it seems like it's not robot parts. Now, there's a face underneath this and an eye forms, and it seems to be looking directly at him. And of course, this freaks him out. But this is kind of it for that episode, and I would really like you to look or think about the eye looking at him. Now we know that these are not just robots. There's something more to this. And just like that, we get Shinji back in his bed. Now, this is the end of the episode, and now you know that things are just going to pop off from here. It's getting really exciting, and things are getting weird. Now, I hope for week 2, we can kind of build some conversation into the comments. I'd really like to be able to discuss with some people that are just getting into it. If they have any questions, just let me know, and I would love to get back to you. But for now, I can't wait to get back to episode 3. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I apologize for the quality. I'm working on getting better at this, but I really enjoy this, and I hope to build a community out of this. I appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.